Consent to speak for 5 minutes on the Feinstein amendment.
Without objection.
I thank the President, and let me first say about Senator Alexander's comments. What you see is why this is a former university president, a governor, a secretary of education, a candidate for president, and now some would call him a senator. I think you call him a statesman, because he tries to lay it out in a way that we can all understand it, with facts and not hyperbole. And this is an opportunity for us on both sides to step back from the brink and to actually do the people's business, to get something done, to solve big problems. Madam President, I came to the floor to talk on the Feinstein Amendment, knowing that it's not up for an hour, and I will be very brief to my colleague in Virginia, because I know he wants to talk about judges. Primarily because there is some misinformation that's been stated. Now, let me recap the tobacco industry in a very brief summary. Tobacco, like many agricultural products, for years received a price support system that the federal government, the Congress of the United States, put in place. And a number of years ago, members of Congress said, for obvious reasons, the federal government probably shouldn't have a price support on something that we consider not to be best for people's health. And at that time, farmers reluctantly listened to members of Congress that said the international market should be open to you and we should do our best to make it unlimited. And we did. And at that time, we eliminate the price support system. Senator Feinstein came to the floor, and I don't think she did this intentionally. She said that it costs the American taxpayer $10 billion. In fact, there wasn't one dime of American taxpayer money that went to the tobacco buyout. 100% of the cost of that, elimination of that program, was absorbed by the tobacco companies. So yes, if the purchase of a pack of cigarettes and the profit that goes to a tobacco company and the $1.01 in federal taxes that they pay per pack of cigarettes is the American taxpayer paying the price of the buyout, then she's right. I'm not sure that you can make that connection. But I want to state for my colleagues, the federal treasury did not pay $10 billion to buy out tobacco farmers. It was the companies, the ones that understand that they've got to have a viable, abundant source of product. 60% of what we grow in the United States is shipped for export. It doesn't go to the domestic market. Now, let me say to my colleagues, if the intention of this is to be punitive to this product, for gosh sakes, come to the floor, change your amendment, let's vote up or down as to whether tobacco is going to be legal or not. If the purpose here is to suggest that we're going to save taxpayer money, well, let me suggest that if you put every tobacco farmer out of business, and this is the commodity that achieves actually our best balance of trade in agricultural products, you'd make a real long-term mistake. The only thing this commodity, this agricultural commodity asks is let us participate in the federal crop insurance program. Without that protection, it is impossible for my neighbor, your neighbor, the backbone of a community, a farmer, to go to a bank and say, can you lend me enough money to plant my crop this year? And if Mother Nature's good and I work hard, I'm going to be able to sell this product, I'm going to be able to pay you back, and I'm going to be able to make a profit to feed my family. Without that assurance of a safety net, they would never get the bank to loan the money. This is about availability of capital. This one clause. Why in the world we would pick out one commodity out of the entire ag industry and say everybody else can participate in the crop insurance program, but you can't, is insane. So, Madam President, let me say to my colleague from California, Senator Feinstein, I don't think this was intentional. I think she either got bad staff information or she just made a gaffe. To my colleagues, let me encourage you, vote against this amendment. Don't do this to a piece of the ag community that is profitable, that works hard, but more importantly, contributes a lot to the backbone of this country. I thank the President. I yield the floor.